Have you ever heard of the PDCA cycle? What do you think it means? This isn't some cryptic code. It's a simple yet effective strategy for continuous improvement in any aspect of life, especially in business. It's like baking a cake. Let's break it down. The PDCA cycle stands for plan, do, check, act. Think of it this way. You're planning to bake a cake. First, you need a recipe. That's the plan. You gather your ingredients and follow the recipe. That's the do. When the cake is ready, you taste it and ask others for their opinion. That's the check. Based on feedback, you tweak the recipe, maybe add a bit more sugar or use less flour. That's the act. This cycle is a continuous process that keeps on spinning, allowing for constant learning and improvement. It's all about making your cake, or your business, the best it can be. Just like baking a cake, the PDCA cycle is a recipe for success in business. Imagine you're planning a road trip. What's the first thing you do? You likely decide on your destination, the goal of your journey. That's like setting a goal in the plan step of the PDCA cycle. Now, you need a way to get there. You might decide to take the scenic route or the most direct path. That's your theory or plan of action. But how will you know if your road trip was a success? You need to define your success metrics. Maybe it's arriving on time, or perhaps it's having fun along the way. These metrics are crucial as they'll help you gauge your progress. Finally, you put your plan into action. You pack your bags, fill up the petrol tank, and set off. You've now completed the plan step of the PDCA cycle. So, our road trip is planned, we know where we're going, we have a map, and we're ready to hit the road. That's the plan step of the PDCA cycle. Now we're on the road following our plan. This is the do step of the PDCA cycle. Picture this. You're on a road trip. You've got your map, your destination, and your snacks. You've planned your route meticulously, and now it's time to hit the road. That's where we are in our PDCA journey. The do step is all about implementation. It's about turning those ideas and plans into reality, whether that's creating a new product, refining a process, or improving a service. And just like on a road trip, this step requires dedication and focus. You can't deviate from the path you've set, or you might end up lost. But remember, while the do step is about action, it's not about rushing. It's about following the plan carefully and methodically, ensuring each part is executed as best as it can be. Just like on our road trip, in the do step, we're putting our plan into action and moving towards our goal. We're halfway through our road trip. It's time to check our progress. Welcome to the check step of the PDCA cycle. Imagine you're on an adventure, cruising down the highway. You've planned your route, filled the tank, and hit the open road. Now it's time to pull over at a rest stop. Take a look at the map and see how far you've come. This is exactly what the check step is all about. In this phase, we're monitoring our outcomes, testing the validity of our plan. It's like checking the mileage on our car and comparing it to our map. Are we on track? Are we making good time? Or perhaps we've hit a few bumps or taken a few wrong turns. This step is crucial because it helps us identify whether we're moving closer to our goals or drifting off course. It's all about looking for signs of progress and areas for improvement. Just like checking our progress on a road trip, the check step helps us to see if our plan is working and where we might need to make changes. We've reached our destination. It's time to reflect on the journey and decide what we might do differently next time. This is the act step of the PDCA cycle. Just as you would reflect on a road trip, considering what went well and what you could improve for your next adventure. The act step is all about absorbing the lessons learned during the cycle and using them to enhance your next round of planning and doing. Maybe your goal needs tweaking, or perhaps the methods you used could use some fine-tuning. You might even find that your initial theory needs a complete overhaul. Or, if things went particularly well, it might be time to broaden the scope of your project, taking your small-scale experiment to a larger platform. Just like reflecting on our road trip, the act step allows us to learn from our journey and improve for next time. And that's the beauty of the PDCA cycle. It's a never-ending cycle of continual learning and improvement.